This episode of the Inside Runner podcast is brought to you by Say Sky. You can shop the full range at saysky.com, where you can also score 15% off our exclusive discount code using the code IRP15 at checkout. Welcome to episode number 432 of the Inside Run podcast. A massive thank you for being with us for another week. This is a big show. We've got Linden Hall. She could be the most informed Australian distance runner at the moment. She's popping in thanks to the legends at PUMA. Vic Milers Club, New South Wales Milers Club results. There's some doping ban news, some world records not counting. We've got whispers. We've got Moose on the loose. We've got listener question. And I think, fellas, we've got a whole lot of new listeners from New Zealand. So if you're tuning in for the second time from New Zealand, a massive thanks for listening to the Inside Running podcast. Welcome to my co-host. He's up in Canberra, the businessman in Canberra, this one. Both my boys are in Canberra, but this one is filling his pockets with cash. Crokes was just telling me off air. He was in the store over the weekend. Big numbers on the new treadmills. Moose, welcome to you to the show this week.
There's a lot of falsities in that. There is no cash going in my pockets, and there won't be up here for probably 6 to 7 years. Crokes, he saw the fit out. This ain't cheap. The bank has paid for this, and the bank wants their money back ASAP. So no money's going in my pocket, I can tell you that much. But it was an exciting weekend. We had a lot of people through, and it was cool to meet them all and feel the positivity. But we hit Monday, and we're back, got a little reality check today. New business, 3 days old, got the Monday treatment. So, yeah, it's not all fun and games. It's not all fucking roses like Croak sees.
Wow, you saw a few of his dollars, didn't you? He made a purchase. Viv was on the treadmills.
Viv paid. Viv used her card, I think, to pay.
No, Viv couldn't remember her PIN number for her card, so I had to pay.
That's a good move from Viv.
Yeah.
I might forget my PIN next time I'm out dinner with Carly too. I reckon that's a good move.
Great service. Great service.
Yeah, it was good service. It's fun. It's fun at the moment up here. We've got a few new toys to play with, a few new products in store to play with as well. But yeah, no, Crokes, he was good in store. He basically took over the fitting midway, told Viv what she should be trying, what she should be buying, that kind of thing.
I told Moose, I said, I reckon Vomero Plus for Viv, and then that ended up being the shoe that she got.
There you go. I said he should work here.
But Moose, seriously, like, I knew you were sort of banging on about how good the store was, and then it wasn't until I got in there and I saw all of the metrics that the treadmill spits out, and like, you'll obviously do it better justice than me, but people can like try on all the different shoes. And obviously there's cameras that analyze how they run and energy return and repeatability of, I guess, foot strike and stuff like that. And then if you've tried 3 different shoes, it'll highlight green for the shoe that's like most energy return. And then it'll highlight the shoe that's got the most repeatability. And it gives numbers as well, Moose. I don't understand what the numbers actually represent, but it sort of takes I suppose the person that's working there, like, there's not as much, they don't have to, like, it's not as subjective, I suppose, anymore. There's all this.
No, well, the data's not as subjective, but it still takes a human to interpret and decide when to use certain bits of data. And the shoe selection is still human. So this is just a tool. It doesn't decide which shoe to go for. There's human factors. And ever since, like, we got these systems, we've been talking to this retailer in Norway for we had a few Zoom calls, ages ago, probably like a year ago now, to decide whether we went for this system or not. And they would talk about the metrics and how the customer loves it, that kind of thing. But it's not until you start to fit people that you realize the human to human element is still the most important. And like when Viv is like, let's say she puts a shoe on and you see her eyes light up a bit, or you hear the tone in her voice change. All like these are things that that a human can pick up that a machine won't. And that's so. Yes, they are exciting things, very exciting, and it's an awesome customer experience. Like to see yourself running it as an avatar through a desert or whatever it is on the screen, and your exact running mechanics, 3D sort of gait analysis, all the metrics that it spits out. But at the end of the day, people are the most important.
Yeah, well, even Viv, like there's some shoes that she put on, and even if it highlighted green, it was like, well, I feel like I'm slipping a little bit in the back of this shoe. So you're not going to buy that one because even if the data says it's the best shoe from an efficiency point of view, but it pisses you off that you keep feeling like you're slipping out of the back of the shoe, you're not going to want to run in that.
Exactly. That's a classic example of where the numbers don't like just prescribe shoes, but they can help. Like today or yesterday, I fitted a guy buying super shoes, listener actually. So thanks for the listenership as well. But we looked at energy return ratings between the super shoes, and like they're nice to see, but how the shoe feels at the back of his 3.5 to 4 hour marathon, the energy return ratings don't really matter for the last 1 to 2 hours of your race. You need something that's going to be stable and comfortable and fits well. So again, human element taken over.
Hang on. So this is the stuff that usually get done in the lab. Like this is the Dan Nash stuff, that energy return, like without like what your heart rate's doing and threshold.
So he looks at VO2 max and running. He looks at running economy.
Running economy. Yeah.
Sorry. This doesn't give you running economy. This gives you like force metrics because there's force sensors in the treadmill. And I think there's some sort of algorithm around like tendon elasticity or something like that. There's some algorithm,
gotcha.
Yeah, it's not the same thing. It's not running economy.
Yeah. Hey, Crokes, an official welcome to you. Well done on the weekend. Big weekend for you. Strapping on the racing shoes for the first time in forever. Internet was breaking down. What a weekend. I can't wait to hear this recap, Moose. It's been a long time.
Thanks, Brady. Yeah, it was the first 3K race since I ran my PB in 2015. And I think the last 3K I did on a track was, I think the week before I ran 1440 something at Bankstown in 2021. I paced a guy for sort of 9 minutes and kicked down the last lap or two. And I think I ran like 8:52, not feeling like I completely rinsed myself. Whereas on Saturday, I ran 8:54 and completely rinsed myself. so I'm not quite as fit as 2021, but I was happy with it.
Give us the week leading into it though, then we'll go deep analysis into this race.
All right, so Monday, just an hour in the morning, and then I still jumped on the bike that afternoon because I didn't want it to be a full-on, like a full taper week, because the 3K was really just a hit out for the New South Wales 5K, which is this weekend. So I thought, well, I'll still keep a bit of volume in the week, and then I'll have a really light week this week. So that was Monday. Tuesday morning, I got out for 35 minutes in Mulligan's, and then the track session was 1,600 meters at sort of threshold. So we did that in 5:15. Felt actually really, really good in that 1,600, which makes sense. It's sort of that bread and butter. It's the way that I predominantly train now, like that. Those comfortably hard reps. Took 2 minutes recovery, and then did 10 400s off a minute. These were 73, 71, 71, 69, 69, 71, 70, 68, 68, 67. Felt fairly like not comfortable, but I certainly wasn't like lactic or anything like that. And this was my first time using the Mizuno Hyperwarp Pure, because that's the shoe that I thought I was going to wear on Saturday, given it was the lightest shoe that I have, and knowing that Moose had done a couple of track races in it. So I thought, well, if I'm going to race in it on Saturday, I need to actually run some sort of session in it. I enjoyed it. I'll talk about that shoe a little bit later on. Then on Wednesday, I still got out for 90 minutes, 4:19s, and then went to the gym. And then Thursday, I did just over 10K. Wore the Vomero Premium because I was on the bike path for this run, because Mulligan's was closed both Thursday and Friday because a total fire ban. And I really thought when this shoe was released that it would, and like I know Nita like contacted me about it, going, "Oh, this is the shoe for like over 40s," and I've worn it a few times, and I feel like it really screws with my gait like massively. I just felt really like I didn't enjoy the run that much. So I think for me, it just really makes me quite lopey and feel like I'm sort of overstriding a little bit. So then on Friday, I put back on the PUMA Nitro DB8 Nitro 4, just because they're a bit snappier, and I want to do some strides afterwards. So did 35 minutes at 420s, felt awesome. Did like maybe 4-5 strides. Then Saturday, just ran from home to Lil A's, the kids' Lil Athletics. So that was just over 4 kilometers. And I noticed my knee, my left knee was just like a little bit like niggly. And I was just like, that's bizarre. I've had no sort of knee pain whatsoever. And then that afternoon, went out to the track, warmed up, and my knee was like not super sore, but like it was noticeable. And then changed into my racing flats, did a few strides, and a couple of the strides were okay. And then one of the strides, my knee sort of grabbed on me, but it was completely fine during the race. And so, yeah, I guess the race, it was just over 30 degrees when we started. And like my goal was to probably try and stay as aerobic as possible for as long as possible, for a few reasons. One, I haven't really dipped into a lot of VO2 max stuff, and 3K is basically right on your limit. So I know that you're going to be working fairly hard pretty much from the gun. And so I thought, well, if I can keep the first K somewhat comfortable, it turns it into like a 2K race. So we sort of went through 3 minutes for the first K. Felt okay. And then I was basically just rolling around 3 minute kilometers. But I sort of got to the point, I reckon it was just before 2 kilometers, where I'm like, this is really uncomfortable. And in the days leading up to it, like I was definitely nervous, and I always try and work out why I get nervous before races. And I think there's a few reasons. Like this one in particular was I've really got no idea what sort of shape I'm in over 3K. I also know that 3K is a completely different hurt to 10K, half marathon, marathon. It's that hurt where if you cook it, you may not get to the finish line. Like you pretty much have to stop and walk because you've just like seize up because of lactic. And the other one is, I feel like, is this race going to be the race where when it starts to get tough, do I pussy out and just step off the track, or just jog because I don't want to hurt myself anymore? So with just over a kilometer to go, that's probably the point where I'm like, yeah, this is uncomfortable now. I'm not loving this. Zach's pulled away, Zach, who I coach. And we then hit like a kilometer to go, and I was 6 minutes. So another 3 minute K. And then to my surprise, the next 600 meters, I'd obviously picked it up without really noticing. So I hit the bell, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm under 9 minute pace now. And I know that unless I blow up, I'm going to break 9 minutes, which was probably my goal going in. And so hear the bell, I think to myself, okay, it's like last 400 at training. So I start to pick it up, and Zach's sort of coming back to me a little bit, but within 50 meters of like going to pick it up, I'm like, shit, nah, I've gone too early. I can't maintain this. I'm not going to get around the track. So you then back off a little bit. You try and accelerate maybe down the back straight. You pick it up a little bit for a couple of steps, and then you start to get really lactic again. I'm like, nah, going too hard. And then with about 60 meters to go, my legs actually like buckled under me to the point that I felt like I'd hit a pothole. I had to like almost like just get myself composed so that I wasn't going to like land on my face. And so, yeah, managed to get to the finish line. Didn't quite run Zach down. So I ran like 8:54, but like I was pretty sick. Like I've never thrown up from running before or from training. Like there's a few guys I used to train with that whenever you do these lactic sessions or they do a 1500, they just throw up in the bin for the next like half an hour. That was me 40 minutes later cooling down, running with the boys, about like five or six of us. We're about a K and a half into the cool down. And I'm like, sorry, boys, just pulled to the side, put my fingers down my throat and vomited. Got going again. Ran maybe another like 400 meters. Sorry, boys, vomited again. So I was proud the fact that I couldn't have given any more, and I feel like I paced it fairly well because it was, I was able to kick down a little bit the last K and the last lap. So I think it was a good season opener.
Yeah, good rust buster. Just missed the record, 5 seconds. I was surprised you didn't go for it earlier, and then like I was expecting 70s, but you were more like 72s. And then when Zach put in that move, you kind of got caught like 3 deep, and then by the time he got around, he was gone.
Yeah, but I wasn't even, but that's the thing. I wasn't even thinking about racing Zach. At that point in the race, I'm thinking about trying to just keep it as comfortable, like in my own rhythm, so that I actually make it to the finish line or I have something left in the last 2 laps. I reckon
you'd never live it down if you DNF the 3K.
No,
you're making it to the finish.
But if I went with Zach at that point, like he slowed down a bit towards the end. Like I would have really found it. That last couple of laps have been really uncomfortable. Yeah.
Well, you spent a lot of time solo. That's the only thing. You would have had protection, just someone to sit behind.
It wasn't windy. It was just hot. So the wind wasn't a factor. And running by myself, yeah, I didn't mind that at all.
I've never
seen your heart rate like this.
Was that?
I've never seen your heart rate this high.
Yeah, that was the other good thing about racing and was getting some data because I haven't run with a heart rate strap for ages. And so to see that, so I got to 182, I think it was. I think it was good. Like I'd like to think that the fact that I've raced hard will bring the fitness up, and then stepping up to a 5K, like I can probably run, 4 seconds a K slower than what I was doing. And that would actually feel quite comfortable and be able to maintain that. So yes, that was Saturday night. And then Sunday, we had a really, really good group actually. And because it was wet here, we had because it was so hot on Saturday, we had a change come through, and it was not cold, but it wasn't super humid either. And so the running in the rain for like an hour 45 was just so enjoyable. So we did hour 45, around 4:20s, I think it was. So it was a week of 117K. So yeah, like I think I'm in okay shape.
Were you tight or anything the day after, like tight calves or anything?
No, body pulled up really well. The issue I had was I just didn't sleep that night. Like I was still like staring at the ceiling at like 3:30 in the morning. And so, yeah, I was pretty knackered last night, but I felt fine running. Oh, actually just my knee, so I got through the race fine, cooled down fine. I got up yesterday morning and like first step, I'm like, oh, my knee's a bit sore. The first step getting out of bed. And so I was actually willing to just like start with the boys, and if my knee was no good, just do a lap of mulligans and come home. But it actually felt fairly good. Like it actually got better the longer the run went. And I wore the Structure Plus for the first time just because I thought, well, I'll go a bit more of a stable shoe just to help with that sort of stuff. And I had a bit of tib post stuff. So, yeah.
I'm worried about that knee.
Yeah, it's
that
more
grabbing isn't good.
Yeah, like it's even today. It was better. It was better when I finished the run than it was when I started. So I'm just gonna see how it goes. Like I don't think it's anything major. I'm booked in to see Jimmy Barker on Thursday.
Will you go again for the 3K record, Croaks, or will that be?
Oh, I don't plan on running. Like 3K is absolutely the shortest distance that I can race now, and I certainly wouldn't target a 3K. It's more I do a 3K to help a 5K. But
second time around, having that one in the legs, you've felt that hurt. Bit cool weather, maybe some pace, and you should be able to get that 8:49.
But that's not the record. Scotty Westcott holds the record.
Mate, I've got the record books. The record books say that Robert Schwartz Colt has the record of 8:49, set in 2011.
I thought Philo Saunders raced like a week before in Canberra and ran something fast.
He ran like 8:38, and Scotty Westcott's run 8:34.
But what's Robert's time doing in the record books? Tell me that.
Because he was obviously a member of Masters Athletics. whereas the other guys weren't. So
yeah. So have you got more respect because what were you going for these? There's these 6 that you're kind of focusing on this year.
you're focusing on them.
Yeah, I'm also focused on it. There's a lot of listeners focusing on them as well. And this one was going to be a bit of a layup, the 849. Like, has it made you question how many of the 6 you'll get throughout 2026?
Not at all.
Right.
No.
Because the 1448 ain't looking good next week. That's all I'm saying.
No, but this is another thing. And I spoke to Moose about this. And Moose came over for dinner on Thursday night. And yes, I've got myself going fairly well again. But you got to remember, I ran my first session on the day of World Cross Trial, which was basically started December. Before that, I'd missed 3 months and hadn't really had a great previous 12 months. So although, yes, I've raced a 3K, I'm going to race a 5K, my goal should be to actually just be injury-free for the next 6 months because I'm going to continue to get fitter if I stay in one piece and I stay consistent. 10 weeks, and that's
so
where
chase the
sometimes
records in November, December, you reckon?
even yes, I'll be a year older this time next year, but if I don't miss any training in the next 12 months, I'll be a much better athlete than I am now, despite being a year older, I reckon.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think
agree.
sometimes we get caught up on just this short term, you've strung together 8-9 weeks of training, you're ready to go.
Do we get caught up on the jogging heart rate? Do you know what I mean? We look at you smacking 2 hours over hills, 28K, average 415, gap of 405, heart rate 130 average, which is amazing. Do we get caught up on aerobic fitness and not maybe race fitness, race hardness?
Yeah, but there's also difference in terms of look at the training that I've done for the last 10 weeks. Would you say that training is targeting 3K races? Or would you say it's more conducive to 10K half marathon training?
Yeah. Yeah, this 31:49 and 31:20. You'd say they're going to be gone, the records.
I'm not going to say they're gone, but I'm definitely going to be better at those distances than I am at a 3K.
Yeah.
Look at my training compared to Philo, and Philo does
1,500 meter man.
Philo does VO2 stuff every single week. 3K is not really in my wheelhouse.
I don't know if you want to start a beef with Philo though. He's a pretty good guy, and he's ran some quick times over 15.
I don't have any beef with Philo. I'll see him tomorrow at the track. Actually,
so good seeing you racing. Put the man's back in the arena. It was so good to see. He waited on the track for about 5 minutes afterwards, Moose.
A lot of carry on. I couldn't believe it. I was sitting there with Bree's dad, who's 70 something. He's like, "What's this bloke doing?" I said, just a bit of attention-seeking behaviour. He knows the camera's rolling, so he's just hamming it up a bit.
I actually didn't know that you'd found somebody because it looked like there at one point that you weren't going to find somebody, which I was more than happy with.
Because Moose pulled out about an hour before. He was like, "No, I'm not going. I'm tired."
I'm not sure you can say the fact that I threw up twice, cooling down 40 minutes after the race. I'm not sure there's that much carry on when you're sort of laying on the ground after the race, if that's the condition you're in.
You reminded me of a sprinter during a training session. Absolute carry on. None of the other runners did it. One bloke did it for a bit and then realised he was being a goose and he stood up and just walked off.
How many of them threw up that night?
Oh, haven't we heard about his throwing up, Brady?
Do you know he threw up, Moose? I wasn't sure of it.
Yeah, lucky he told us tonight because I would never have known.
I'll tell you what, considering I've been running for, 25 years and I've raced 800s, 1500s, they were predominantly my events for a while, and that I've never thrown up, and here I'm at 45. I'm a bit worried about that actually. Yeah. Maybe I didn't push myself hard enough when I was younger.
So good. You look good.
I was at his house for dinner, Brady.
Oh yeah, what
the
you
man
have?
can cook. Oh, he cooked the barbecue. It was very good too. I get why Deke asked him to cook his barbecue that time. But he tried about 4 times to get out of this. He goes, I don't even know if I'll race on Saturday night. Don't even know if I'll race. If you pull out now, there's no living this down. For years
Someone
and years.
Did put that on the Instagram comments, just the post we did in the morning. They were just like, he might not even race at this rate. Like, what are the odds for him not starting? And I'm like, oh, yeah.
No, it's good to get a time on the board and just get an idea of where the fitness is at. So.
And good guys you're racing with, your training partners, just down the road. That was good.
Yeah, we had like, I think there was 9 people in the race, and I reckon there were 6 of them were like people, well, including myself, that I coach.
Commentator did a good job, whoever that was.
How's the poor bloke? So the guy rocked up. He would have been, I don't know, maybe close to 50, and his name wasn't called to like line up. And so the official sort of, he goes, oh, is my name not on the list? He goes, did you sign in? He goes, well, I signed in for the 800. He must have done an 800 earlier in the day. He's like, but did you go and sign the 3K sign in? And he was like, no, they didn't let him run.
Oh, they didn't let him. He couldn't even.
No, because he thought you just go and sign in and that covers you for the day, but you've got to go and actually sign in on the 800 sheet and the 3K sheet.
Why didn't they just say, look, you've made a mistake. There's 9 people in this race. It's not going to hassle us to put you in here.
Yeah, and because there's
such
no,
a sad state of events.
There's no like hip numbers at all. So what happens is you cross the finish line, you get handed a number for where you finished, and then obviously the video, the photo finish goes, okay, the person that finished first ran this time, the first person that finished second was this time. It's like,
wouldn't have entered him into the system. Because he wasn't signed in.
But he was entered in the system I know. On the original start list the day before.
Yeah.
Also though, who cares? Just not give him a time. He's not going to care. He's there ready to race. Just let him run around the track for 7.5 laps.
Like, I get it, a rule's a rule, but this is like an ACT Summer Series meet, and it's just... Yeah.
Well, it's the example of like a bloke who may have been there, maybe it's his 3rd time in athletics, and he goes, "Oh, fuck this! I'm not coming back to this. Like, I've had enough of that." Like,
he was really good about it. He goes, "Oh, yeah, sorry, like, my bad. I've done the wrong thing." Like, he didn't kick up a stink.
Yeah,
he just didn't know. He didn't do the wrong thing. He just didn't know what the right thing was to do.
Yeah.
Have you got anything to report exercise-wise, Moose?
No, not really.
Just building a shop.
Did some squats last night. Did 15 push-ups.
Tell me more about going to Crokes' house.
Oh, it was an exciting time. My Pia was so excited. She said, "Is this the guy that you talk about all the time?" I said, "Yeah, that's him."
Pia learned to swim in my pool.
It was unbelievable. Chuck Pia in, Collis. He's got this one kid who's like a dolphin. He just pretty much we got there at like 6 o'clock and the kid was still in the pool at 10 o'clock. Just an absolute dolphin of a boy. And then Pia just followed him. And then all of a sudden, Pia's like been the worst kid in her class at swimming lessons. Like, can't even like get 2 strokes done. And all of a sudden, she's swimming down his pool with freestyle. Then she grabbed one of his big inflatable unicorn things and just swims one arm to the side of the pool. Unbelievable. Mansion, though. You've been there, haven't you?
Nah, not the new one.
Oh, shit. You should see this joint.
I've got to get up.
So, it's a
book in for a weekend
mansion.
away.
He's got like 5 bedrooms. He's got a garage. He's put carpet down in his... So he parks his car on carpet. Like, how nice is that? You get out of your car straight on the carpet. Is it
carpet was already there.
Bloody king's life, that. Nah, big barbecue that's like built into the side of the house. Swimming pool. What else you got? Massive kitchen. You got the showers, like where there's like him and her shower in the same like cubicle area, so they can both have showers at the same time and not have to share an
How
outlet.
did you see that part of the house?
Yeah, no, he took us right up. Took us upstairs in the bedroom.
Whole tour.
I was a little bit awkward, actually. I was trying to avoid what was on the table. I was impressed, though. I didn't know his house was this good. Like, he's a bit smug about it now, but it was bloody good house. Bloody good. And he can cook. And Viv, nice. I don't know how he's done this. He had a guy come in today into the store here, and he said, "The sun shines on Brad Croker." And I said, "Yep, I think you're right. The bloke doesn't work, has a fucking mansion of a house, has a beautiful wife, has kids. One of them's a dolphin. The other one, I don't know how you do it."
Just lucky, Moose. Got lucky.
Happy if I whip through this week then.
Yeah.
I'll give you a week of training. Monday, 60 minutes, 446 pace. Tuesday, I did 3x3K. Originally, I was going to do them off 2 minutes, but I just did them off 90 seconds, walk in between. You know when sometimes you're just looking at your watch and you're looking at your heart rate and you're like, oh, I'm ready to start the next rep. That was what I was thinking in this recovery time. So just made a bit of a call on the fly to cut this one to 90 seconds instead of 2 minutes. Started at 3:30 pace for the first one. Second one, 3:25 pace. Last one was aiming for threshold. So like I hit 3:17 pace for the last one. Good workout. Enjoyed this. Yeah, I like 3K reps. They're kind of long enough that you can lock in, not too long like marathon stuff when you're doing like 5K reps or 6K reps. Like they're over reasonably quick. Had any K splits on. You get a bit of a dopamine hit every 3 and a bit minutes. It was good.
So you don't want to.
Felt terrible the first one. Sorry.
Why do you pick distance over time when you've done time like heaps lately?
I just mix it up, to be honest. Just something different, a different variation. Yeah, I was just like, yeah, just do 3K. It's amazing how sometimes you do these workouts. So like this first 3K, like 3:30s, and I'm like, oh, this is, maybe I do them all in 3:30s today. And then you hit the next one in like 3:25s and you're like, oh yeah, that felt okay. And then the last one almost felt the smoothest. And it's, 12, 13 seconds a K quicker than the first one. Just shows, don't read too much into the early stages of your workout, especially to our listeners out there who are doing workouts. Like this would have been 6:30 a.m., 7 a.m., something like that. Like solo, you're off a long run a couple of hours or 48 hours earlier. Just don't overthink things early. Wednesday did 65 minutes, 4:37. Oh, you know how I told you last week I thought I was injured again? Woke up Tuesday morning, nothing. Remember, I was like, oh, I have some awareness.
I do remember that.
And I was really like freaked out because that was the day I had finished, graduated the Return to Run program and was meant to start getting back into things. Woke up Tuesday, nothing, no pain. I don't know if it was just phantom. Do you reckon it was just phantom pain that I knew the Return to Run program was over and my mind was just playing tricks on me? Could be.
Well,
People are telling me you do get like, you'll still get like awareness.
Or maybe you're just planting the seed that you felt something, knowing that you were about to take over the reins, so that when you cook yourself in the next 10 days, you're like, yeah, nah, but I felt something before I took over.
I felt it in the second last day of like the 100-day Return to Run program. Still blame Paddy. Yeah. So this was great. So yeah, didn't feel anything. That's why I did that workout. Wednesday was 65 minutes. Thursday was 70 minutes. Friday was 10x3 minutes at threshold effort off 1 minute walk. Boys, this could be the best workout, the funnest workout to do. You do it with music. So I had my Shocks headphones in and you just pick a song, like a song gets you 3 minutes. In the 1 minute off, you just find another song. Your heart rate, I think, tell me if this is true, Moose. When you do threshold work like properly, does it feel like surfing? When you just ride that wave, like you're running fast, but you're not exhausted. You're in this kind of like flow state. Yeah, feels like you could almost do it forever. And then you get like 3 minutes isn't long to be on threshold. Then you're almost just like, bang, that's over. Pick another song. Go again.
I think the flow state's the key there. Like it doesn't have to relate to threshold though. It can be any type of running you do. I normally get it. I normally get it trail running.
Do you?
Like that's when you feel like you're in sort of nature and it's like a real environmental sort of thing. Like that's how I feel the most compared to surfing.
I guess because you're right, like how you ride your threshold line though. Like that's what I mean. Like when you're in the pipeline, is that what they call it when you're surfing? Like this is what when I'm like, I could overcook this and it's going to be really hard and I'm going to be breathing really hard and I'm going to wipe out. Is that what they say as well? Wipe out?
Nah, it's
whereas
real
this is like I'm just on the end of that wave there, just riding it.
So you can cut this, Brady.
People, right in. When you do threshold work, do you feel like you're just riding a bit of a, maybe not a wave, maybe surfing's a bad analogy, but you guys know when you do threshold right, how smooth it feels?
And another one could be like you're doing the session and you feel exhilarated, not exhausted.
Yeah.
It's like
I don't know about those big words though, Crokes. But
it's enjoyable. You're like, this is
could have done
this is
another
fun.
5 at that pace. Was having fun, listening to some music, doing some work on a Friday morning before school. Averaged like 3:17 pace. Only the last 2 got up to like my lactate LT1. So I probably wasn't even doing threshold work. It was probably below threshold work after all that stuff I just spoke about it. Saturday, 45 minutes, 4:38.
Hang on. You reckon you reckon you only touched LT1? Or you talking
for
LT2?
the averages. Yeah, my LT1's 160, and I think my LT2's like for the averages, Crokes.
When was it that?
So if you look at my workout and look at my laps, my 3-minute laps, you'll see the average heart rate for each 3 minutes.
Isn't like LT2 about your sort of 60, like your sort of 60-minute race effort?
Yeah.
Race pace.
Well, I've got this. Remember when I got my testing done?
Yeah.
Yeah, when was that?
August? May?
Oh,
somewhere
recently.
Like
You went to Ballarat. Is that right?
Remember I went to, I think I'm just trying to, it was just like 6 months, 8 months ago.
I suppose 3-minute reps, you probably not long enough to actually get it.
Oh, I was getting over that by the end of it. I'm just trying to see what my, I think my LT1 was something like 164 and 168 for LT1, LT2.
Yeah,
pretty close together.
My last 2, my average for the 3 minutes was 160. Everything else was below that.
Yeah.
What was the maximum?
That's a good question. Maybe
he dropped like a 309k, 168.
Yeah, that was the second last one. I was feeling pretty good. Thought I'll just push this one a bit, see if I can get into LT1 territory, Crokes. What was my max for the whole day?
I think 168.
160, yeah.
Since when do you mention LT1 ever in the last 10 years of this podcast?
Well, I've got it. I just
you read a book?
Or surfing.
Nah, haven't got any trainer program.
He's definitely got someone's book.
No, I was just making my notes today in my diary, and I'm like, that's what they were averaging out at. Yeah. And what does that actually mean?
You must have watched Point Break today.
Yeah, surfing analogies. Anyway, Sunday I was in Bendigo, back down there with the boys, the Bendigo Bats. 20 people on the long run, boys. 20 people, 7 a.m. I was thinking, I hope they don't mind me saying this, but I think anyone can rock up and do this long run. And this is the long run that's made Andy into the Australian record holder. So if you're ever in town, have you boys ever done it? Moose, have you ever done the long run down there?
No.
Yeah. You've kind of done some of it that day after the 5K Frenzy one year, like the rocky stuff. You know what the surface is like.
Yeah, I know it.
You can see why the Australian record comes out of this long run, because it's just hilly, but not like massive hills. It's rocky, so you've always got to pay attention. It's just a grind for like however long you run it. Like, you got mulligans, Crokes, and it's nice, and like you're just looking at, like, one guy had a tumble. I got taken out by like a tree branch and had blood pissing out of my shoulder at one stage. You have to concentrate. It's like a cross country course for, I'm going to say like maybe 70% of the run. Like, there is some stuff on good roads, but you got to concentrate. Otherwise you do an ankle or you're rock hopping. We average like 4:17s, which everyone blamed me for, because we're going a bit quicker. And
You're in town. You're in town.
I think they just get excited when I'm back in town. But
Get some good whispers out of that. Was Andy on the run?
Andy was there. Andy had 80
minutes. You going to run Boston?
No, he's not running Boston. No. He, No, he's pretty good. I told him a few whispers. He told me a few whispers. He's getting back fit. He, what else were they talking about there? I wanted to just talk about footy with Nath Stote, but then found myself in a few different groups. A few people giving you shit, Crokes. They thought you were going to go quicker in your 3K. I put them back in their spot pretty quick.
That's an old bat they're talking about.
Yeah, they're not happy he signed with Sydney Uni. No loyalty to come back to the Brotherhood.
Not after paying your fees for a year and then you're just ditching them.
Paid his fees for one race. So, it was good to get some elevation. Got like 427 metres. That was good. So, if anyone's ever in town, get down there. And that was 110K for the week. Cut out strides, and I cut out elliptical because I didn't want that hip niggle to flare up. So, yeah.
100 miles this week?
Nah, you know what? Like, that's not a bad week. 110K, 2 threshold workouts. So I got, 9K worth of threshold or a bit below maybe, tempo workout on the Tuesday and another 30 minutes of it on the Friday. I reckon if I just add 2K to that long run every week and maybe a bit more to that tempo stuff and just do that for 3 or 4 weeks, I can be kind of fit to do like a 5-week marathon block.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, boys? Is that the way to do it?
Build to 130, like 130. Like, you don't have to do much to go to 130.
Or do I need to chase Kzo, Croaks?
No, but that's what by the time, if you're adding 2K a week to your long run and a bit extra.
Yeah, well, that's not going to give me 20 extra. I think.
Well, 20, even 120.
You're thinking overall Ks, whereas I'm just thinking, can I get the long run and workout out a bit more? Like even today, I had a bit of like DOMs just from running hills for the first time in forever. So I just did 45 instead of 60 because I don't actually care about the overall Ks, but I want my legs to bounce back.
Your long runs are going to need support from the weekly mileage, though. You can't go bang 35K long runs off 100K weeks. Like you need a bit more than that, I reckon. Otherwise, that long run is just going to kill you for the rest of the week.
Yeah. Here's a question for you. So I pretty much did 26K yesterday with 400 meters of climbing, and I explained like the terrain. Is that worth 30Ks?
Yes. Yes.
I'm hoping so, because then I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm up to 30Ks already.
That'll be a lot. It'd be a lot more taxing on you than if you ran 30K easy around Echuca, that's for sure. Yeah. A lot more taxing. And more specific, you need to work those. What you should start doing is some downhill stuff, because Boston, like getting those quads conditioned, even just getting in the gym and doing some specific stuff for the quads.
Yeah, so this is where we're at though. Like, do I prepare for Boston or do I try to keep myself injury-free?
Injury-free. I think you need to prioritize coming through Boston so you can train the rest of the year.
I reckon if I'm still like going to ride in 6 weeks' time, then I can start being like, but you might say it's a bit too late to be doing that, Moose. But then that's maybe where I can throw in some good downhill stuff or some uphill stuff. Or
you're not going to get injured doing, like, you shouldn't get injured if you're just doing strength work. That shouldn't injure you.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I have
been doing strength work. I've been in the gym, box jumps.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I haven't dropped the whole way. So yeah, the other question that come up on the long run, who's the biggest threat to Andy to take the Australian record? Who should he be scared about?
I probably still think have to.
Yeah, that name was discussed. Who do you think, Moose?
Well, the crew that are running fast haven't really shown, like when I say the crew that are running fast on the track haven't really shown any inclination to go to the marathon, like Kai Robinson. He would be, when you think about potential for the marathon. Yeah. Like
I guess Jack, I think if Jack goes all in on the marathon and his body can handle the marathon training, then I reckon he's a shot as well.
It's been a while, though, since we've seen something from Jack that sort of shows that he's close to it. Been a while since we've seen something from Pat Tiarnan that shows that either. I mean, we saw Sydney as like showing a bit of potential there. But still, it's a long way off what ran there to.
Yeah. I guess Jimmy Whelan's also a bit of a dark horse, given
that was the
Jimmy
name.
Whelan,
that was one of the names that popped up.
Runs like if you're running, there's people out there that have run 61 for a half that can run what Andy's run for the marathon.
I'm going to need some more from Jimmy Whelan before I throw him as an Australian marathon threat. Are you trolling?
Well, what did Alex Yee? What about Alex Yee? Alex Yee
is an Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah, and Jimmy Whelan was pretty much right on his hammer in the half marathon before he ran his 2:06.
He's got a point, Moose.
They ran
Jimmy
that half
Whelan's
pretty much
never run
together.
a marathon before, Croaks. You can't go throwing
Yeah.
out straight. Like, how many guys have run super fast over the half that have never converted to a marathon?
It's just like, who are the threat Mazungos? That's what we're talking about. Like, we're not saying they're going to get it, but like, who should you have half an eye on what races they're entering in the next 12 to 24 months?
I mean, I'm interested in Jimmy Whelan, what he'll run for a marathon. I'll have an eye on him. But there's a lot of blokes that will be disrespected by Croaks putting Jimmy Whelan in front of him right now. That's okay, Croaks. You back him in, like slab bet here, easy. I'll throw it up.
Still one to watch.
We go to all right. Jimmy Whelan debut marathon 2:10 under or over.
Oh, that's a good bet, Croaks.
You can't say that he's a threat for the marathon record and then not take it an under.
Within 4 minutes.
Yeah.
What are the Solomon racing shoes like, Moose, that he just signed with?
Oh, super shoes, mate. They're all good now.
Okay.
They're all good.
Let me have a think about it, Moose.
Oh, you're a pussy.
He's not running a marathon anytime soon.
How do you know?
I think he is.
Well, I'll find out.
All right.
That was a good conversation anyway. This episode is brought to you by Say Sky. The Spring-Summer 2026 collection is inspired by the unspoken poetry of running, the grind, the breakthroughs, and those quiet moments where you find your rhythm. Because running isn't just a sport, it's a way of being. It's showing up for the early alarms, it's the heavy legs, the long runs, and chasing the feeling rather than the finish line. Say Sky is for runners who don't take shortcuts, who zig when others zag, and who find meaning in the process, always moving forward at your own rhythm. You can shop the full range at saysky.com, where you can also score 15% off with our exclusive discount code using the code IRP15 at checkout. Say Sky is also available at selected retailers across Australia, so you can check it out in person and see why so many runners are switching to the Star. Let's thank some Patreon supporters, Croaks. Do you reckon we can whip through this in 2 minutes? And I think our guest is going to be here soon.
Yep, I got Peter Boyle from Melbourne. He had a pretty good year last year. Ran 16:33 at the Lakeside 5K, 33:46 at the 2024 Lakeside 10K, 78:48 at the Burnley Half, and 2:39 at last year's Melbourne Marathon. He's coached actually by my old coach, Ben Wisby, who lives over in New Zealand, and I believe he's a lawyer down there in Melbourne. So thanks for your support, Peter, and you're in good hands with Wiz.
I reckon this guy's from Bendigo back in the day as well, Peter Boyle, if it's the same guy. Would you think about getting Wiz back on, Croaks?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I reckon if you don't get this next record, we go for Wiz, help out a bit.
What about Brady? Good coach. He's a running coach, Croaks.
I'll coach you. I'd do you. I'd do you real good too, I reckon, Croaks.
Yeah, I reckon that'd be a good dynamic.
No, not the way that he's basically his athlete would string together 8 weeks of training and he's all right, you're ready for a PB now. There's no like,
self-belief. That's all you need.
Let's just ease into the season and progress your fitness through racing. It's like, first race of the season, PB or bust.
I'll tell you what we're not doing, Moose, if I'm right in the program. We're not doing 400-metre reps in 62. That's what we're doing.
I can't.
If we can't handle 70s in a 3K race, why are we doing 62s?
When was the last time I ran a 62?
2 weeks ago, didn't you? 63.
Never ran 65.
You know, Chriso had you at 8:42. He was
I ran
8:42 he's going to run.
So I ran I think I ran 66 something maybe for the last lap.
No, you ran 60 a couple of weeks ago.
That's with the buckling legs. And don't forget that you threw up.
All right, let's move on.
Next person,
I got Al Franklin from Perth. Al has run 19:19 at the Bibra Lake Park Run. Is that where they all do the? Is that where front runner do those tempo runs and sessions around Bibra Lake?
I don't know, but there used to be a race there. I reckon they sponsored the podcast back in the day. Bibra Lake Half Marathon or Park Run maybe is there. I've heard this name before.
I see a lot of workouts like that the guys do, that crew do there. There's always someone on a bike. It looks pretty good. 41:30 at the 2019 WAMC Peninsula 10K and 94 minutes at the 2021 Fremantle Half. Nothing on Strava since August last year. Oof. Maybe she had another kid because she's a mum. So perhaps she's been off with pregnancy. Maybe she's got stressy. Maybe she's like me and he's just a really hard worker. No time to go running.
You actually also have a stressy too, though, don't you?
Oh, well, yeah.
You got some bone stress. Just
I
a little bit
did.
of bone edema
It's
or
hanging
whatever it is.
around a bit. It's bloody hanging around. It's still sore.
Is
Still
it?
got a sore knee. And it's like been bloody 6 weeks or 7 weeks or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm quickly going to thank, because our guest has just arrived, but this is Nicholas Van June from, from Melbourne. His Strava's locked down, but we found out he's from Melbourne. Nick has done Parkville Park Run quite often with a best time of 22:42. He also ran last year's Melbourne Marathon in 3 hours and 56 minutes, and he's also a dad. So thank you, Nicholas, Peter, Al, for your support of the podcast. If you like what we do on this podcast, patreon.com/Inside Run Podcast is the place to support us. It's bonus content week up to the road to somewhere crew this week. Chriso's going to do Barcelona half marathon this weekend as well. So the OG monthly guys next week. And Crorken and I, we've got a whole list of good listener questions. So we're thinking about just doing a listener question episode as well. So keep an eye on the feed there. You also get the show early on a Monday night. And good way to support the show if that's what you're into. Our guest is here thanks to PUMA this week. Linden Hall, a massive thanks for joining us on the Inside Running podcast again.
Hello again.
Hello, Linden. You're in shape. We were just talking at the start of the show. Are you the most in-form runner in Australia at the moment? Or is it Cam Myers?
No, I reckon Cam's got me covered. Boys flying.
Don't know. Your last 3 or 4 races have been pretty impressive. Have you got, I want to read them out in a second because it's a good kind of rap sheet, but what was your favourite race over the US kind of campaign?
Oh, nothing will beat World Cross. We won a medal, got to do a relay back in my college town. It was all very, very surreal. Couldn't have been more of a fairy tale day. So I don't think I'll forget that one anytime soon.
Yeah. Before we get into the actual the split that you ran, did you build that course? Because I think it's Hannah England was on the commentary, and I remember sitting at the gym on the elliptical watching it, and she was saying that when you were there at college, the coach made you guys physically construct the course.
Okay, so that story is really blown up a little. It's yes, when I was there, it was not what it was. It was really narrow in sections. It wasn't up to scratch to host an NCAA champs, which was the goal at that time. The boys team definitely had some working bee days. The girls were nowhere to be seen. We were too precious. But, we were there. We saw the transformation. We saw the boys do the hard work. So, yes, the team built the course, but the boys team is the fine print on that one. But,
Supervision, supervisors, course construction supervision, we'll call it.
Yeah, something like that. I'm sure we did something helpful.
Yeah.
Told the bitch trees or something needed to go. I don't know.
That leg at World Cross, same anecdotal story. I woke up that morning and checked our Instagram, and I hadn't seen the result yet, but there was a message that just stood out to me that said, "So when are we building a statue of Linden?" And I was like, "Oh, what's Linden Hall done here?" And it wasn't until I actually, watched the race. Congratulations! You were the one that got us into that position. They held on afterwards. Jess brought it home, of course, but yeah, has it sunk in the whole global gold medal thing? And then take us through what was going through your head standing there on the line when Ollie's coming around the corner to hand it over to you.
Yeah, I think we were all kind of, no one really quite knew what we were getting in for, sort of difficult pace judgment, and then even 2K over cross country. Okay, so we're running a 1500, but we're running through some mud and jumping things, and you kind of, I feel I just remember worrying about what if I don't go fast enough and I get to the end and I'm oh, I feel so good. So I think but everyone was sort of feeling a bit like that, which is kind of reassuring in a way. No one out of that group runs a whole lot of cross country, so I think we were all kind of trying to remember how to do that somewhat. Just seeing Ollie kind of pop over the hill in that front group, I was all right, we're on. And I think knowing that Jess was going to bring it home for us, I think, gave us a really good amount of confidence that, the other teams didn't. I think, everyone had, for the most part, their best female on that last leg. And, we were kind of lucky that our best female was Jess. And I, as the sort of second position female, was probably as fast as most of the other girls Jess was racing on that last leg. So, we knew we had a really strong girls partnership. And so with Ollie and Jack just, staying in contact and running like what they needed to do, like we couldn't have all pieced it together, better than it did, I think. I think like Jack just got thrown in there at the last minute and like absolutely held his own. Like I was really happy I didn't get handed over in first, because I think, just been running a bit ball blind. Like I kind of got the wristband or whatever it was we had in quite a bit of a group, which was really nice because I sort of got to work off the other girls sort of through the first probably 800, 1K, and then kind of, I don't know, sort of gauge it a little bit better, which I think made it feel more like a race, whereas I feel like if I had to run Jack's leg, I would have been like running scared the whole way. I think just like really cool to do a relay, because I don't think I've done one since a DMR in college, and Gels relays, of course, how could I forget? But yeah, it was just really cool to like, be at the finish line and like share it with the other guys, and just kind of do it together. It was so different, but yeah.
How did the nerves compare to other global championships, knowing that one, you're part of a team, and two, you're a legitimate gold medal chance?
Yeah, I think it helped that it was like first thing in the morning. Like it was like wake up at 5:30, eat breakfast, go. There wasn't too much time to think about it, which was probably nice compared to a world champs on the track where you're racing at 9 p.m. at night and you've got all day sitting in a hotel room thinking about what's to come. So that was kind of nice just to kind of like go straight in. But I think like there was just so many people I hadn't seen for so long out at the course. There was just generations of FSU track volunteering. Like I think every former athlete had gotten an email at some point about come back and volunteer. And so just walking from the bus to our team tent took ages because I saw so many people, and it just like, I don't know, made me so happy to be there. And you were sort of like, I don't know, how can I run bad? Like this is just, it's such a special place for probably where like, I guess a really important patch of my running was spent. And I probably didn't realize until I was sort of there again that you were like, wow, like I've come a long way since we were here, which was really cool to think about.
Did you get emotional, Linden?
I think I was just very happy. Like I can't say I cried, but like I was just like, beaming. Like I feel like, the whole day.
You had a campaign
people to leave.
You had other races in the US, but was this something that you trained specifically for, or did it just fall into the path of other races?
I picked out that I wanted to do this World Cross relay pretty early. I think like last European summer, Jess and I and Cam were in St. Moritz and started talking about it, and definitely sort of started to get the ball rolling of like, well, if you're keen, I'm keen. Like what a team. And obviously the guys ran so well in Bathurst that, they kind of wanted to go back for more and move up the podium. And, I was kind of jealous I didn't get to be part of that team. So I think everyone had different motivations to be part of the team. And I think we all sort of knew that if the right people came together, or probably quite a combination of different Australians could have come together to win that. We've got so much depth at the moment, which, I think we all sort of recognize how strong each other are, and that, it was an opportunity for us to come together and all win, really, which is pretty cool.
Take us to the indoor track stuff, Linden. My first question about the indoor track, and a lot of our listeners probably never get to go inside these venues or run on an indoor track. When you race on them, can you tell the difference? And can you kind of like explain the atmosphere inside? Like, is it hot, music, like I don't know, just kind of this artificial like setup compared to what we're used to here outdoors?
Yeah, I feel like I've done a little bit of indoor the last few years, and I feel like each year I've gone back, it sort of felt more familiar, sort of a bit of muscle memory from it. But I feel like when you haven't been on an indoor track for a while, you're like, just wrapping your head around laps and splits and, a straights only 40 meters or something, so don't leave it too late kind of thing. But I think the biggest challenge racing indoor is like the warm-up space is always just not what you get at an outdoor meet. So kind of like not letting that get to you and just kind of like adapt your warm-up where you need to, which I feel like sort of, have gotten better at over the years. I feel like probably derailed me a bit more, 5 years ago where I was like, so I think that's probably like one of the bigger challenges about some of those indoor meets. But yeah, they always have great atmosphere because everything, while the crowds are pretty small, everything's just so close. And, because you're inside, like the PA system is better, the music sounds better, like nothing's getting blown away in the wind. And even just like the field events are all really close. So I feel like, even if you're watching, you're kind of like, oh, who's that jumping on the back straight? Like everything's sort of right there. Like I feel like you don't miss anything. And I think just because of like it's harder to overtake people and it just sometimes is a bit more, I don't know, but like a bit more chaotic really, which is probably better for watching than racing in some senses. But yeah, it is like a slightly different game, but it's kind of nice to mix it up and challenge yourself a slightly different way. I feel like I don't know, wrapping my head around a lot of laps running a 3K might be good for running a 5K outdoor. I'm still trying to wrap my head around those. So hopefully it's a bit of training in that sense.
And is it hot in there? Like, they pumping the heaters? Sorry, I just want to know about this temperature moose because like you see the photos of outside at Boston and New York and there's snow dumped everywhere. Like, do they just pump in heaters?
No, usually it's a bit chilly.
Okay.
I felt like Boston was like kind of cool when you got into the stadium or the actual like track, but once you get going you're fine. In New York last year I'm pretty sure they had like some misters to keep some humidity in there because it's really dry. So like when you sort of usually when you finish racing like you just get like an awful cough because the air is so dry inside. But I didn't really notice that this year, so maybe that was a trial last year that didn't go well, I'm not sure. But yeah, does kind of burn the throat a little.
A few whispers about some indoor stuff happening in Australia. Have you heard those?
As in like beyond running 60 meters on an outdoor track, a short track?
Yeah, like actual indoor racing.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of places I think an indoor track could go. It would be really cool if we did like a drop-in one somewhere because they are such cool meets, but that's probably a bit of a dream.
You've heard the whispers.
I feel like this has been going on for years and I don't think any of it's ever been legit. I think they're building a new somewhat indoor training facility in Canberra, but I don't think it's going to be a indoor track as such. Like I think it's going to be a 200 bend of outdoor dimensions, what I heard, but I don't know how true any of that is. But yeah, it would be very cool to have an indoor track out here.
Who thinks the indoor world champs are going to come to Australia one year and they're going to drop a track in?
Yeah, there's I don't know, they've done the velodrome in whatever John Cain Arena before. Like, is that the same size?
Melbourne World Indoors.
Don't mind that.
Linden, last time you were on and we sort of said, have you thought about sort of moving up in distance? And you're like, I don't really like, the longer stuff. Since then, you've absolutely been smashing like, your 3K times and your 5K times. Is it growing on you?
I stand by hating the 5K, but sort of intrigued by the challenge of it. Like, I think it was obviously like, I wouldn't say I loved racing it last year, but I like that it's new and there's lots of room to improve, and it's different. And, but yeah, I feel like if you give me the choice of the 15 or the 5K, I'm probably going to pick the 1500 still. But yeah, I'm learning to maybe like it a bit more. The 3K is like the sweet spot. I wish that was an event at the Olympics, but it sadly is not. I'm
reading this undertone of the 5K may be a bit more of a focus this season, though.
Like I'm definitely going to run probably a similar amount to I did last year. Like I'll run at nationals again. But I think I'm sort of starting from a very different spot. Like I guess hopefully off the back of what I did last year, I can get into something pretty quick and kind of roll the dice a little bit and just see if I can get dragged along to something fast. But yeah, probably not going to go and run 10 in the season. Like I probably, see myself running, 4 or 5, including nationals or something. Yeah, not quite sure yet, but yeah, definitely like feel like there's a lot more to do in that event, like compared to the 15 where I'm squeezing 0.01 of a second off for a PB. Like I feel like there's rooms to take nice big chunks off in a 5K still, hopefully.
Linden, the difference, the indoor track stuff, we see people often talk about BU, and I think you've set your 5K national record there, indoors BU. I got that right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel different on that track than the other indoor tracks? Because everyone's like, you just got to go to BU and it's like super fast.
I mean, I think a lot of them are pretty nice. But I think BU's got that hype if everyone shows up ready to run fast, and like it's nice to run on, definitely. But I think it was pretty nice to run on the track at the Armoury as well. So I guess there's just absolute bulk numbers showing up to BU meets. So there's so many people running PBs because they're just huge college meets. And like, it's a pretty good atmosphere when you race there because everyone's on the infield, and it's, it's kind of like a giant Milers Club meet. It's just to roll up to the start line 5 minutes before. Like it's kind of no frills, just show up and run PBs kind of thing, which I think is like, I don't know, always sort of a bit more relaxed way to race. And I think everyone shows up expecting to run fast a little bit. But yeah, it is a fast track, but I think there's plenty of them out there.
Yeah, okay. Bit of that perfect storm situation.
Yeah, I reckon.
You're lining up against like college athletes at the moment. You're running PBs, so do you feel like you're in the best shape of your life right now?
I mean, you're probably pretty close. Yeah, I mean, a couple of 1,500 PBs last year, and then, 5K, 3K. Like, I think all of my PBs, apart from my 800, were in the last 12 months, which is, like, probably something I wouldn't have expected if you asked me 5 years ago. But, yeah, definitely not complaining, but I guess we're still sort of, trying new things and changing training up and just kind of, like, I don't know, probably at a point where it's kind of like, oh, yeah, I'll take a chance, like, kind of, I don't know, sort of like, what could go wrong? Only sort of feels like there's sort of stuff to gain at this point, which is sort of a nice sort of way to feel. But yeah, probably would have been more hesitant probably to change things up or try new events, 5 years ago or so, whereas I sort of feel like, okay, we've been to 3 Olympics over 1,500, like there's, why not try something new a little bit, I guess, if that makes sense. But yeah, it is terrifying when you see some of those college kids and they're like years of birth, and I'm like, ooh, are they here too young, or have I stuck around too long? There's a terrifying age gap, which was,
If you were to go back 10 years, knowing what the change in training's done for your running now, would you go back and say, hey, Linden, let's try some new stuff. Let's not do the same thing every year.
Yeah, I don't know. I sort of feel like in a way it sort of has like given that longevity. Like maybe I just would have started something else earlier and then got bored of that and been done with it. Like, I feel like it's sort of, I don't know, as you sort of get older, you sort of need something new a bit more. So I feel like the last couple of years just sort of been able to like spice things up a bit each year is kind of, reinvigorated things a little bit rather than being like, no, maybe we've done enough. It's like, no, let's see what happens if we do this. It's kind of fun.
It's not like the previous years were a failure, Moose. She was 6th in the Olympic final at Tokyo.
I know, but she's running PBs now.
Yeah.
But so is everyone. 359 is not what 359 was 5 years ago as well.
2 blokes here that aren't.
Hey, Crorken's actually nearly broke the over 45 Australian record on the weekend, Linden, for 3K.
Oh,
Still about 20 seconds off what you're running at the moment, but he was in the ballpark.
Yeah, but I was inside. I had no wind.
Yeah, Croaks was battling 31 degrees in Canberra. But anyway, this isn't about him. This is about you. You're going to be a 4-time Olympian, Linden? Like, that's the plan?
I mean, at this point, I'm intending to give it a crack.
Yeah.
I've probably, I don't know, maybe if I hadn't got hurt in Paris, I would have been a bit more satisfied. But I think I got kind of mad after that, and was like, fine, I have to keep going now. So yeah, I feel like by the time you sort of get through this year, you're like, oh, we're almost there. We may as well have a crack. Making a team's no guarantee, especially with how well everyone's running over pretty much every middle distance event right now. But yeah, definitely intending to stay in the mix for now.
Athletics team captain at Paris too, weren't you? My memory's got that correct.
I think yes, that was correct.
Yeah. Did you have to like deliver a few speeches and stuff?
Yeah, I think we did a couple. We'll put together like we did like a team trivia night at camp, and ran sort of a session for all the first timers, a little bit of like, this is what's going to happen when we arrive at the village, this is what's crazy at the Olympics, a little bit of wise words from those of us, or, mildly wise words from those of us who'd done it before, and things we'd wish we'd done different at our first Olympics. So it was a good opportunity to like kind of share some of those, things you'd sort of learnt maybe the hard way, or things you'd wish you'd done differently. And I think, yeah, it was kind of cool to be those more senior athletes that, you think back to your first team and the people you were sort of like looking to for help and advice, and sort of being able to kind of, pay that back is quite rewarding.
Is it something you'd do again? Like you get to LA and they say, hey, Linden, we want you to be the team captain again. Would you do it?
Oh, I reckon they'd be sick of me by then, surely.
Who was yours?
I've run out of ideas for team games. So we'll see.
Whose was yours, Moose, at Doha? Who was the team captain for athletics? Oh, the whole thing was athletics.
It was Steve Solomon and Jen Lacarze, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Over to you, Croaks.
Hey, Linden, we've been running a fair bit in PUMA shoes lately. I'd be interested to know what your rotation is. Like, what shoes do you use for different runs of the week?
Yeah, probably trainers-wise, my 3 shoes I probably do most of my running is a Velocity, Deviate, and Magmax, depending on my mood, how tired I am, and or what's not covered in mud. So yeah, usually I like wearing a Deviate for like my track warm-ups and things, just days I want to run fast because they make me feel faster. They've got the carbon plate in them, so they're sort of halfway between a trainer and a flat. So I do like those for warm-up. They feel pretty good to do strides in and things like that. And I'll usually chuck those on if I'm going to do sort of like a pick-up within a run or something like that. But yeah, that's sort of my like warm-up shoe, like pre-race as well. Been wearing Magmaxes for like my second runs when I'm a bit more tired a lot lately, and actually for long run as well. Just sort of like that time on legs because it's nice and soft. About a year ago, I was like absolute hater of like a real soft kind of chunky shoe, and then had a bit of a cranky foot last year with my plantar, and kind of was like, oh, maybe I'll give it a little more cushion. And anyway, now I really like them, so I've had to eat my words. And then probably everything in between, I'll just wear a Velocity, which is pretty sort of in the middle, pretty neutral sort of shoe, I guess. But yeah, it sort of has changed as I feel like, I guess a lot of the newer models of all those 3 shoes really have changed a lot in the last couple of years. So they've probably come in and out of the rotation depending on what's sort of been new and flashy a little bit as well.
What about your track sessions if you're not wearing spikes?
Mostly fast R3s. Very popular choice. Sometimes a Deviate Elite. Often I'll wear that for like often wear my Deviate Elites for like a threshold session, and then the fast R3s on the track. Or sometimes I'll switch it up if I'm feeling a bit tired and I want a little more help. I'll go.
Yeah, because you're like aging, I guess. Like we try to avoid spikes as often as possible. Is that something like, especially with your calf history?
No, I feel like I try to get in spikes at least twice a week, partly because I think sometimes not being in them is a bit of a risk. Like I think if I can keep a sort of an amount of spike volume consistent throughout the year, it's sort of less of a shock when I do jump into them. So yeah, just try to make an effort to always do something in spikes in a week, even if it's just strides on a Monday or something, just so there's something in there. But yeah, no, I'm pretty comfortable in spikes. Like I like running on my sort of run off my toes a fair bit anyway, probably. So it puts pretty much the shape of a spike. So yeah, not usually too beat up from doing too much in spikes. Sometimes it's more me being told to do less. And I'm like, oh.
Last one from me, Linden. With your step up in distance to the 5K, what's been the most loved and hated workout with the 5K specific work?
Oh. Well, it was so I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before, but Ned's never given me the same session twice. So at least everything that I hate, I only ever have to do it once.
Ever?
Never. It's like sometimes it's a small difference, but it's like it's become a thing. It's been a bit of a challenge, and now we're like 5 years deep and it's still going, which is like wildly impressive. But before I ran a 5K in LA last year, I did this 3K rep in Cottonwood, which is lower altitude than Flagstaff, but still at altitude. And it was a very hot afternoon. And I ran a 3K and like, I think I just dipped under 950, like 49.9. And then I think I was meant to do, I think I did two 400s afterwards or something after laying on the ground for 20 minutes. But that's probably the worst 5K session I've ever done, because I hated it, but it did make me feel very confident to run a 5K. So it served a purpose, but I bring it up a fair bit still. And
I think you said, did you say 850 or 950? 850, that's
just
right.
under 850, yeah.
Okay, that's good. I thought I heard 950, but I'm like, yeah.
Oh,
okay, that makes a whole lot more sense if it's 850 than 950.
Yeah, so that probably does. I might have said 9.
That's all right. I just wanted to clarify.
I'm still new to this. Hard to say a best 5K session. I feel like, I mean, I feel like I will like enjoy reps where we sort of change pace within them, partly because I probably initially when we started doing them, I was quite bad at them. So I've enjoyed that I've gotten a lot better. So the other week I did some 1Ks that were kind of split into 700, 300, which sort of was before I ran that 3K PB, which again, like gave me some really good confidence. So maybe that was that sort of style of session I like, because it's still got a little bit of faster running in there, but there's still like some good volume as well. So it's probably a 5K session on paper. But yeah, still get to turn your legs over a bit and feel race ready.
Awesome.
And last one from me, Linden, what races have you got lined up over the next few months?
Hoping to head over to World Indoors in Poland for the 3K. Obviously I have to get selected. And so yeah, we'll wait to figure out that, but hopefully that is all fine. Yeah, excited because it's like I said before, like the 3K feels kind of like the sweet spot for me, and it's kind of the one chance you get to run that at a major championship. So hoping to gear up for that and then come back and run in Melbourne the week after, and then internationals basically. So trying to sort of not over race in the domestic season, just knowing that it's going to be sort of a long year through till September, and I've already had a little bit of a mini season overseas. So try and save my pennies.
Awesome, Linden. Thank you so much for popping in. The longevity of your running career is something that I feel like we speak about every couple of weeks on this show, especially the other week, when you're taking it up to Al St. Pierre in that indoor 3K. It's great to watch you just keep progressing.
Yeah, I keep thinking, I'm like, surely just one more year. And anyway, just an absolute sucker, clearly. But no, can't complain. It's going well. So we'll just, keep at it while we can.
That was Linden Hall, listeners. Now we're on to running news, and this week's running news segment is proudly brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. Moose, you're kicking us off this week. Vic Milers Club. They had the Mile Championships down there. They ran quick too. Fast
Yeah,
times.
I know. I saw the results here. Impressive stuff, yes. I saw a couple of laps of it, just like some social reels, just clips of it. Charles Barrett ran 3:58.45, breaking 4 minutes. He beat Will Lewis 3:58.81, and Tiarnan Crorken from Great Britain was 4 minutes.11. So yeah, real quick running. In the men's, in the ladies, Imogen Baker ran 4:43 to beat Stephanie Kelly 4:45 and Catherine Dowie 4:46. So not quite as quick in the ladies. They don't often break 4 minutes here.
No, I think they were saying, I watched the race, the track or the meet record for the miles, maybe 3:57 from Luke Matthews. And they were talking about maybe targeting that. I got paced by a Japanese guy for like 3 laps. And then this Irish guy, beautiful mover. Did you watch it, Croaks? Real tall, sponsored by Adidas. Don't know anything about him. He was covering the ground really well. Thought he was going to win it. Charles Barrett has a bit of the name has escaped me. Who's the Olympic champ? Cole Hocker. He's got a bit of Cole Hocker about the way he kicks home the last 50 metres. Throws the head back. He was in third place with like 50 metres to go. Just turned into an animal. Doesn't look good, but he gets the job done.
All that matters.
Yep. 800s.
Well, the 800 was quite strong as well. We had Bob Abdelrahman. He ran 1:46.48. He beat Alexander Cameron Smith, who's the sensation recently, at 1:49.75, and Will Caddick 1:49.93. And how's this for a lineup in the ladies? Very strong for a milers. Abby Caldwell ran 2:79 to beat Jayla Hancock Cameron 2:02. Tess Kersop Cole was third in 2:03. Very strong stuff there.
Abby just missed the record, which was an extra $2,000 in prize money.
Oh.
And I've got a feeling that Bob may have got the Milers Club record. So I think he picked up $2,000.
Who's Bob Abdelrahman?
They were talking about him on the long run. It was
coached
one of
by
those.
Rinaldi, I'm guessing.
Hey?
Is he coached by Rinaldi?
Look, to be honest, I was in a different conversation and only like half heard what the boys were saying, but they were talking like he'd come from, like, was visiting. He's Australian here.
Yeah, because I saw a photo of him and he was in
Perth.
full like
come from Perth. Is that right?
It was full like Adidas kit, like the bodysuit and everything. So certainly one to watch. When I saw like 1:46, I was like, it's quick for this time of year as well. Like season's really just about to get going.
Yeah, he's got a lot of results on his profile from WA.
Okay.
Maybe that's what the boys were saying, that he's still young though. Like he was at the under-18 champs in 2023.
Very young.
Yes, his best time last year was 1:48. That was at the Australian under-20 champs. So yeah, he must be 21 years old. 20 years old.
He's running the Perth Track Classic this weekend as well.
That's a name to watch. What have I got for you? New South Wales Milers Club. Coverage not as good as the Vic's Croaks. You know how they just upload the videos afterwards with no like commentary?
Yeah.
Harder to watch. But Daniel Williams got the win there, 1:48.3. Obasa Yusuf was second in 1:50. Sam Clifford, he went from 6th at the bell to 3rd. Come home pretty strong, Sam. 1:52. You don't see too many people in the space of 6 months. 6 months? When was Sydney Marathon? Run a marathon and an 800. Yeah,
seeing Sam Clifford on the start list of an 800 was certainly not on my bingo card.
He come flying home, mate. You should go watch the video. It's like it took him 500 metres to warm up, and then he came home full of steam. He used to run a bit of track stuff back in his junior years, didn't he? An 800?
Well, I don't know. Like I know he was the under 18
5K.
Under 18 5,000 metre Aussie record holder.
Yeah.
But that's very different to 800.
Yep. So Matilda Ryan, she won the women's in 2:07. Adelaide Marshall was second in 2:09. And another Matilda Emmanuel was third in 2:10. 1,500 This was set up by Abassa, who was second in the 800. He jumped into pace for 2 laps. You're actually Sydney uni boy, Croaks. He had the white on, the 2 whites. Looked good. Not as good as you did Saturday, but it looked pretty good. Stefan Music, 349.1. Alex Talbot was second, 349.4. Isaac Shaw, third, 349.6. Whoever was fourth as well come across the line in 349 as well, like a real blanket finish. Ruby Madden won the women's in 425. Sarah Baker was second in 431. And Lucinda Elder was third in 437. I think, Croaks, you got a bit of a mixture of news here to finish it off.
Yeah, I'll start off with another running result. So we mentioned last week that Femke Bol was making her 800-metre debut, stepping up from the 400 hurdles. And so she got the win. She ran 159.07 to take almost 1 second off the Dutch short track record that had stood since 2001. So it's going to be really interesting to see how she goes this season over 800. So I'm looking forward to watching that. And then Jakob, what day did that come out? Was that Friday maybe? He put up it was all over sort of Instagram, and then there was a YouTube video as well that he'd gone over to the US to have surgery on his Achilles. And I watched it last night, and here I was when I first heard about it. I'm like, okay, well, there's his season completely done. But it actually sounds like the surgery wasn't quite as severe as what you would expect. So he said that the tendon is actually healthy. It was just the sheath of the tendon had some like scarring sort of attached to the sheath. So they sort of fixed that up. So I don't think it's quite as long a rehab potentially as a full-on Achilles surgery. So still a bit of a shame though. Like I remember on our end of year show, what are you looking forward to? And it's like, well, can Jakob, come back? And obviously he's sort of going to be playing catch up for this season because he's going to pretty much miss the whole, have a base basically. So do you think we'll see him race at all this season?
What's the point? Just get healthy.
Year, isn't it?
Yeah. It's not like he's coming back to the Olympics or like last year, the world champs. Just have a spell, Jakob. Get strong, race some cars, do that sort of stuff, whatever you're into.
Yeah.
Trade some Pokemon cards. He's big on the Pokemon cards too.
Is he? What is with the... Can you imagine a superstar back in the day being into Pokemon? Imagine Rod Dixon trading fucking Pokemon cards.
Mate, don't bring your stereotypes into this. Pokemon cards.
All he wants to do is drink beer and train like an animal. And you got blokes like that trading Pokemon cards. What is the world coming to? Our superstars are fucking nerds.
So my other bit of news, speaking of racing cars, now Jacob Kiplimo's 56:42 half marathon world record has not been ratified, largely because he was too close to the lead vehicle. So they said here, according to a report from Runners World Spain, Kiplimo's 56:42 half marathon world record set at last year's Barcelona half will not be ratified by World Athletics. For months, there's been speculation over whether Kiplimo was aided by his proximity to the lead pace car. World Athletics has not set any rule for the distance a race vehicle must be positioned relative to the leading athlete. However, Kiplimo was estimated to be 10 to 20 metres behind the vehicle that displayed the race clock all throughout the race. Kiplimo's performance was 48 seconds faster than Yoma Kajelcha's previous world record. So I'd be so pissed off if I was Kiplimo. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not my responsibility, and I actually don't know how much benefit he's going to get. If I'm 20 meters behind a car, I don't know if I'm getting that much benefit, especially at just over 20k an hour. I don't know. It's
bullshit. There's no specified distance. So how do they make? So it's always just a judgment call. That's
it. Yeah, if he hasn't broken a rule, then how can they not give him the record?
Yeah, this screams. This screams. Yeah, what do you call? What's the word for it? Like when you throw up. No, you throw up like a false flag or whatever. You throw something up and then something else is going on over here. That's what I'm thinking. Let's save ourselves some trouble in the future.
What can we do to not give him this record?
Like, don't get me wrong. Like when we saw that, we're like, this is really hard to believe. But then the women's marathon world record stands, even though she's been busted.
Paced by and paced by men.
Like, yeah, but like the whole drug thing.
Yeah,
But that record stands.
Yeah. Well, that gets on to the other bit of news that Bernard Quebec-Coich, who was provisionally suspended a while ago, we would have read this news out, but he has finally been banned. And his result from Paris, so he was fifth in the Paris 10K final. He got banned with their abnormalities with his athlete biological passport. He tried to argue a couple of things, like because he lives at altitude, which they were like, well, you've lived at altitude your whole life, had COVID, had some oral iron supplements, stuff like this. They just shut down the panel of experts that decided that he pretty much is going to be banned because of this biological passport. But his results have been removed from Paris and is banned until 2029. So everyone moves up a spot. And that's, you look at the comments and everyone's like, well, how does Ruth Chepngetich get to keep her record? But I guess these guys have, it's different, isn't it? Like, she tested positive to a diuretic, not at the Chicago Marathon where she set the world record. Whereas they're going, well, we've got this guy's blood values in his biological passports over the period of time when he was having these results. He was also big on the in the Ekiden scene. He was based in Japan. So the Ekiden teams had their results and stuff wiped.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I was on the Japanese or Japan Running News, our mate over there, his site today, following it up a bit. So, yeah, and they've kind of had to make statements about how they've, sacked him. You know how you kind of run for the corporate teams over there?
Yeah.
They've apologised to their supporters and all those kind of things. So that was the running news.
The Kenyan fellas seems to be pretty consistent, doesn't it? Kenyan.
Did you listen to the Ross Tucker, his podcast? They had the guy from the AIU in there or on their show, and he's an Australian guy. He used to work for, I reckon he used to work for ASADA and maybe some stuff at AFL. So he's got this Australian accent. Listen to it because they kind of...
The AIU building is around the corner from my store. I walked past it the other day.
He was great. We should get him on the show because he does talk. I don't want to try to summarize it, but he does talk why there are so many positives coming out of Kenya. And he kind of says it's a good thing. As in, like, this means we're doing our job right. Like, this means their testing's up to standards kind of thing. He's more, I think he's more concerned about the countries that don't have any positives.
Well, you could look at it the other way. It's like, okay, well, Ethiopians aren't testing positive. But are they being tested?
That was the news. Thanks to Precision Fuel and Hydration, chances are you are gearing up for a race yourself. But how dialed in is your race nutrition? Precision Fuel and Hydration makes it simple with a free online planner. Visit precisionhydration.com and get your numbers today. Let's go with Whispers. Sam Roof, Ben Roof, Sam Tanner, Craig Kirkwood, and Athletics New Zealand have officially accepted Croaks' apology, Moose. So that was good last week.
Yeah, that was good. Yep. A lot of
good
people.
That New Zealand got in on it too, wasn't it? I don't mind
it. Just Croaks for apologizing, for apologising, like putting his hand up, going, yeah, I messed up, boys. I backed the wrong horse here. I should have given him a go, and I didn't. Like, maybe some bias in there for the New Zealanders. Yeah,
they're my new favourite federation in the Oceania region, Athletics New Zealand. After getting in on those gags,
well, I even commented on Ben's post. Actually, congratulated Sam and Craig, and said it was phenomenal running. Then if he keeps it up, then Stewie's poster on my wall may have to be replaced. No. So the bottom edges of the poster, the blue tack's been removed. I've only got the two top ones remaining.
I want to
keep up the work, Sam.
I want to get to Stewie in a minute, but Lisa Waitman from Linden to PUMA. No, official announcement. A few photos over the weekend in PUMA kit. Maybe some caption about looking forward to prepping for Boston with the support of PUMA. So I thought that one was interesting. Seth O'Donnell hasn't been on social media for a month. You boys notice this? I'm missing Seth in my life.
He put something up, though, saying, being real quiet, be back next week.
Is that this week?
See that?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I think meaning this week, yeah.
Okay, that's good. And then I was thinking, Maury Plant, who's on your wish list got the biggest meet coming up in Australia, track and field. We've got Georgia Hunter Bell. Said a couple of weeks ago, don't know if she's getting like the general sports fans through the gates, like Gout, like who were some other big names we've had over the years?
Fred Curley.
Fred Curley, Olympic champ.
Tobogo.
Yeah. He was he gold or silver or bronze?
Yeah, Tobogo won the gold.
Yeah, but he did the 400, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what I'm thinking. I've asked you a question just because I want to give you my answer. But let's throw as much cash as we can to get the head-to-head of Sam Ruth and Cam Myers. And I'm thinking Stewie to pace it. So Stewie in his new kit gets him through 800.
Disrespectful to Stewie right there. But go on.
No, just because he's not ready yet. I'm not saying he's not good enough to be in the race.
How do you know if he's ready or not?
How do you know he's not ready?
Well, you want to throw him in there with Sam Ruth and Cam Myers.
Well,
if we want this to be the head-to-head that we're marketing for, everyone in the world's going to talk about this. Someone's going to have to sacrifice their own race to get these boys set up for a fast time.
But no, racing's more than just a fast time, Brady. Why do they need a pacemaker?
Because it needs eyeballs clicks. Like imagine if they go run 3:27 Crokes.
Yeah, I still think just them racing would be exciting.
Yeah, well, they can do that in the last lap because I reckon Stewie gets him through to 800. He pulls off. Sam Tanner also going to sacrifice his own race. He's the only man who could get this to 1200 on pace. Pulls out 300 metres to go. Cam Myers, Sam Roof, big throwdown last 300 metres. Go run 3:27. Everyone in the world is talking about this race. Good idea.
Bring Cole Hocker out as well.
Yeah, that's a good idea because they're all fit. They're all fine.
Because that was the one thing I thought was disappointing. Like one thing I would have loved about the Wanamaker Mile was like having the 2 mile like took a few guys away. So it would have been really cool to have some of those 2 mile guys in the mile as well.
How big is the budget though? Cole Hocker's an Olympic gold medalist, Crokes. Just throw the cash at the local boys. Give them whatever they ask for.
Do you reckon Sam will actually run it though? Because based on those interviews I heard, like Maury Plant never sort of got a mention.
They did adjust to what they were going to do. There was an Instagram story I saw the other day that is not going to. He was going to skip one of the ones, and now he's going to do that last chance at BU meet.
He's going to do a 3K instead of the mile.
Yeah, to chase a New Zealand record. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, if I'm in charge of the Murray Plant meet and I've got a budget to spend on athletes, that's who I'm spending on. Everyone will talk about it all over the world. Osaka Marathon's coming up next weekend, not this weekend, next. Caitlin Adams, she's going to run. Rebecca Lowe and Tara Palm. Saw that as well on Japan Running News.
That's Osaka, main Osaka, not Osaka, like...
this is the main Osaka, the one that we did. Pretty small women's field. Yeah. Yep. Moose on the loose, what do you got?
I got bugger all, to be honest, mate. I got, very little. I haven't been really surrounded by the running community. I missed on the loose my injury. I was just telling Chris tonight, I'm like, it's like I want to get out there, run. I want to go explore some trails. I want to go run with some groups in Canberra. I want to go join Crokes' Mulligan's track club. I want to go head out to the agony of the feet, just rapid track session with Zano. I want to go Telford, do some thresh reps. Running for Resilience got a 500-person run club that runs from the pub down there in Kingston. And I love that. I love that idea. Like, just let me get running. I'm really
local people. What about do some reps with Cam Myers, Jai Edwards, Rory
he
Hunter.
Pays me for a few.
What about
I just tell you,
get out with Leanne?
Jai's back. Saw him at the track. He's been there the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, settle down, mate.
Yeah. You can see. Look at him. Viv just eyeballed him like, oh, not again.
Not again, bro. We need 6 months of consistent training from Jai and a few races. Settle down. So your moose on the loose is like missing the running community.
Oh, yeah, it's about time. Like, there's only so much you can talk about running in store with people. I just want to be able to say, I went for a run this morning. Yeah, did you get out too? And everyone's telling me they're getting out and they're having great runs. And I'm like, yeah, I walk the dog. Fucking walk the pain in the ass dog. That's about it.
Okay. So the family's still up there or just you and the dog?
Nah, they're home now. So they went home yesterday. I'll be driving home Wednesday, coming back up Monday next week. So a bit of a spell at home and then up again. Yeah.
Good. All right, Craig, bring the show home. Listen to the question.
This episode's list of question is proudly brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. And the question is, thoughts on runner? Is there any space for a cheap coach that uses AI?
This is I had a trial with Runner, remember? I had Coach Jen writing this in programs.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
and it told you, you were complaining that it wasn't giving you enough volume and distance, but then I've heard other reports where it's given people too much.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure. I don't think you guys have the same algorithm that I do, but have you guys seen the backlash to this app over the last week?
No. Is it people is it girls in bikinis?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it is.
But then
I'm surprised it hasn't popped up on.
Yeah. Well, no, not bikinis, like activewear.
No.
But then I feel like unfair backlash on that one individual. Her name's Mary. I should know. This world escapes me. Sack will be all over it. It'll be like yelling at his speakers as I'm saying this now. But she pretty much was a runner ambassador, trained pretty hard, huge following, got a stressy, and then I'm just summarizing what I've experienced on the algorithm. And then there was almost like this pile on about like, told you so, you got injured, you've got this huge audience, yada, yada, yada. Like, you got to be better than the way you were training kind of thing. You shouldn't have been pushing this to your followers. And then every man, like every other influencer has come out and done like a video about their opinion on if you should be using AI apps such as Runner and should these influencers be pushing this. So it's been a bit of a shit show. Like yeah. And once you click on one of these videos, you just keep getting them.
So you got an opinion on it, Brady?
They call it stress fracture gate.
I got no idea what you're on about. But
yeah, I wish I didn't have any idea what I was on about because these people weren't in my world a couple of weeks ago, and now they are. But I found it, kind of that weird how people have piled on. This, I'm trying to open it now. Like, how much does it cost, Crokes? Runner.
I got no idea.
I remember when I actually did use it for their trial when I was just like mucking around. So $29 a month, $179 a year. Yeah, so significantly like cheaper than an online coach. It was a really good looking app. That's what I remember. Like, the interface was really good. The way it was kind of set up, you got little messages. Their website's the same. I wonder
I know you're probably going to say the opposite, but I think there is a place for something like that because not everyone is super invested enough in running to pay $100 to $150 a month in coaching. Like, they want to know what to do, but they also don't care that much, or they might not have the money to do that. So
why not just use like ChatGPT or Gemini though?
Well, that's essentially what they're doing, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. Like, why pay for it when you can just use?
I don't know the specifics of it enough.
While you're talking, Crokes, I'll get you a ChatGPT program to get you to run 14:48. We'll do a bit of a trial live on air.
Yeah, the amount of people that come in to the store using Runner, I'm shocked at how popular it is. And it's always it's not the athlete who's striving to run a PB. It's the athlete who's just taken up running, who wants some guidance in what they should perhaps be doing. And I don't think that's a bad thing. And I'm not sure, like, I don't go into the programs with them and hear what they're supposed to be doing, but it sounds relatively okay for the super beginner runner. And I mean, they're running twice a week or something, maybe 3 times. So they're not like, as invested as someone who wants to break 3 hours for the marathon, or someone who's even training for a marathon. It's that it's obviously having to really dedicate themselves. So I think there's a place. I just don't think you the major limitation is the lack of lifestyle considerations to it. And then
the flexibility.
Yeah, but you hear that a lot. Like, people come in, and we have, even within our coaching business, you see emails daily saying, coach by runner, want some more personalized help. It's not really working for me anymore. And that's the biggest drawback, I think. Yeah,
I think I just love being I'm an online coach as well. I don't see a lot of my guys in person. I love the chance to catch up to them with them when you actually do have a race. But I would miss that personal connection. Like when someone runs a PB and they get on there and they respond or send you a message, or you talk to them, and you can share that joy with somebody else. Obviously, you can't do that with the robots. So that's kind of what it's like. And then here we go, Croaks. I got you here. This is what you need to do. So I've typed in. I've just run 8:53. Was it 8:53 or 8:54?
54.
Anyway, we'll go medio pace, 8:53 for 3K. I want to run 15:15 for a 5K in 6 weeks. I want to run 120K per week and do the harder workouts on Tuesday and Friday. Please write me a 6-week training program. All right, this is it. Monday, 14K, 4:30 to 5-minute K pace.
Ooh. Good, Croaks. I like this for you.
I like this already.
Already good advice.
I was like 426s today, so I'm close.
So outside the range. Yep.
Tuesday going to be the hard workouts. This is your weekly structure first. I'll spat this out. Tuesday's going to be hard workouts, VO2 max speed specificity. Wednesday, you got a midweek long run, which is going to be 18K, 4:10 to 4:15 pace.
Oh, that's faster than what I've been doing.
Thursday, 12K recovery and 6 by 100 meter strides. Friday is going to be a hard workout, threshold / critical velocity. Here we go. Got a bit of Tin Man in the AI. Saturday's 10K recovery. Sunday, 24K long run with aerobic focus. Finish last 5K steady. He does that too, Moose. He gets rolling. The workouts. First week on Tuesday, you're doing 12 by 400 at 71s. Second week, you're doing 6 by 1K at 302s. Third week, 5 by 1200 in that 339. Fourth week, you got a bit of an indicator where you have to do 3 by 2K at 303 pace.
What recovery?
3-minute rest off that one.
What about those Ks at like 302 or something?
90 seconds recovery.
How many of them?
6 by 1K, 302, 90 seconds recovery.
Yeah.
Fifth week,
pretty hard.
4 by 1K in 3 minutes with 2 minutes rest. And then the last week is 8 by 400. This is taper week. 8 by 400 at 70 seconds.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's pretty good.
Your Friday workouts, 6 by 1K at 312s. Then the next week you got 8K continuous tempo, start at 318 pace and then get down to 312 pace. Third week, 3 by 2K at 312s. Fourth week, 10 by 500 in 130. Oh, yeah, because you got that hard workout on the Tuesday. And then the week before, you got 4K tempo at 310 pace plus 4 by 200 meters fast.
That tempo stuff's pretty quick, pretty hard.
Yeah.
Like,
Run to PB going to want you to cut this, Brady.
Look at this. It says, are you targeting a specific race, in brackets, like a Vic Milers meet or a fast park run? Well, no,
that was pretty good. Like
why would you go runner if you just do that?
It wasn't far off the mark.
I think the threshold stuff's way too quick, though. That'd be more like 320 pace.
Well, yeah. Did you factor in, did you put his 45?
Because, I can reply now.
Because that's the difference. It's like if you're young, you can probably get away with like the 2 quality sessions a week.
Just put in his 45 years old and rich. See what it comes up with now. Clarifying the recipient. Refining gift ideas. Not sure why I shouldn't put the rich. I've thrown it with the rich stuff. Yeah, this is, I don't know what the hell it's doing now. Anyway, yeah, let's give me birthday gifts idea for a rich and 40-year-old birthday gift. Anyway.
I guess the app, like I've never looked at one of these apps at all, and like it's more about if it's sensible training, then it's fine. But I guess if you've never run before, you don't have a sense of whether it's sensible or not. So that would be my only concern, because obviously you read out that stuff before, Brady, and because we know what 302 kilometer is and whether that's too hard or too easy, we have a fair idea. So I think the apps are completely fine as long as it's, sensible. But problem is new people aren't going to know if that's sensible or not.
Yeah, I just typed it in for me to prep for Boston. Look at this, week 4, 35K with 15K at marathon pace. That's not good.
But then I guess not every coach out there is sensible. Not every coach out there is sensible either, I suppose, with programming.
Yeah. We haven't really answered the question, but who's kind of has? It's got a place.
Yeah, there's a place there.
You need to have some common sense there as well, so you don't get injured. I wonder if you can feed it. You know what I don't like? The Boston Marathon sent me an email being like, do you need help with your training plan? You should use Runner. They must have deals with
big partnership there.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's just business. Anyway, that was the listener question brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. Thanks to Precision Fuel and Hydration. Visit Precision Hydration and use the code IRP2020 for 15% off your first order. There's a bit coming up. We've got the Perth Track Classic. Peter Bowl, boys, Williams in the 800, Abby Caldwell, Nozomi Tanaka. She's out here, Croaks.
She travels a lot, doesn't she?
She races a lot too. Jayla Hancock Cameron. 5K only has 7 people in it. Matthew Ramsden, Jonathan Harris, and Liam Cashin are headlining that. That's a bit sad. New South Wales 5K champs are on. Croaks will be in action there. And the South Australian 3K champs are on. Barcelona half marathon's on. Jack Rayner's going around there, boys. Got offered this slab bet today. Jack Rayner, sub 60 minutes.
Oh, you take that.
Me and Toby both took it. We're just Chris
said sub 60.
Yeah, which is pretty much Australian record.
He still owes me a slab, actually. It doesn't show up to your house if you bet Chriso slabs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, still hasn't shown up.
I thought didn't he get Toby to buy it for him?
Oh, yeah, he did, actually. Yeah, no.
I think Toby's got the slab.
That's my bad. That's my bad. Someone owes me a slab. I can't remember who, though. Damn it.
It was on the Surf Coast Track Club, I think. That's when you were betting slabs recently.
Yeah, no. I do. It was. He looked after me.
Yep. Sorry, Chriso.
Chriso is good bloke, actually.
You've got that 5K coming up soon, haven't you, Croak? 6th of March.
Yeah, so I think entries are now, we've got close to 100 people. And so, yeah, if you do want to race on March the 6th at Woden, you might want to get in soon, because obviously numbers will have to be capped, because we only have the track for a certain amount of time. We can only have so many people per race and only so many races per night. Invitational race, those people out there that can run 5K in under 15 minutes should definitely think about this. We've only had probably a handful of people reach out to me about the invitational race, and none of them are in sub 15-minute shape.
Oh, boy. And actually, what's the cash again? What's the prize money?
So it's $2,000 for first male and first female, and $1,000 for second.
What's it? Just if you break 15 minutes, you'll get $2,000 at this stage.
Well, probably at this stage. Ooh. But I put up a story tonight about it, and during the show, one Cameron Myers replied saying, "Might have to get a run in."
Oh.
So the young king might be at the track that night.
I'm there. I'll get to the track with him.
Too big of a name to go down to a meet. Like go there and cheer on.
You know what? He would go. He would even he would come down though, I reckon, as just an ambassador. And that's a thing that I don't know, the sport needs to do better. Is get our stars out into the public, which essentially this track night is about bringing the general punter and the public to the track, and imagine having someone like Cam Myers just rocking up and either racing or just being there, potentially if he doesn't want to race, just jumping in and pacing one of the groups on, 20-minute pack. Imagine that. Imagine Cam running the 20-minute group.
Yeah, that's
Don't
great.
make him do that, Croaks. Fuck me.
You know what you should do? You should
What's the
get those.
supers?
Yeah, that's what I was meaning. Like, he's too big of a name to race this meet.
We messaged me.
Remember we did that live show at Nike that time, and you got those like postcards made up, Moose, of like Sinead Diver and Jack Rayner, and then they signed them for like people there.
Yeah,
that's what you need. Get a whole lot, get 100 of those printed off, and get Cam to sign them and give them to the kids and stuff, to the adults. Yeah. All right. Good luck with that. Still a few weeks away though, so you had a few big hitters after you mentioned it tonight.
Yeah, I reckon. Well, actually, a couple of Dick's guys did come up to me at the track last Tuesday and said, we'll probably have a run. But I suppose they sort of just, there's a few races between now and then. It's sort of, those people will probably just come in sort of last minute and go, I'm keen to have a run, especially when there's $2,000 on the line.
Oh, $2,000 for 15 minutes work. Yep. All right, boys, that's the show. What's coming up in your life, Moose? You're going home and then you're going back to Canberra.
Yeah, yep, heading down. Then I'm going to go to Port Fairy Marathon actually after that. So if you still anyone interested, Port Fairy, don't think they're sold out just yet. So that'd be good. Port Fairy, head down the coast. Maybe I'll be there. Maybe I won't actually, but it'll be good to be there.
I don't know about this for our boy here, Crooks. Canberra, Anglesea, Port Fairy, babies.
Mate, this is what happens, mate, when you work. When you got, I never worked this hard in my life.
This sounds tiring. Don't break yourself. I'm worried about you.
I am. I've started wearing my watch to bed. I've never done it in my life.
Don't do it.
Nah, it's scary. I'm pulling some bad hours on there. Some real bad hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That HRV wouldn't be good. I wouldn't.
I think I got an average of like 6 hours 15 over the past week.
Yeah.
That's not good.
That's probably why your knee's not healing.
I was wondering that.
Yeah.
I was wondering that actually. Yeah. I'm not doing any rehab though, so that could be it.
What are you doing, Croaks?
Doing a track session tomorrow, getting some treatment, and then 5K in Sydney. I'm still trying to work out my shoe choice. Well, I know we're at the end of the show, but I was going to bring this up on my weekly recap. So I raced in the Mizuno, the Hyper Warp, but mainly because it was the lightest shoe. But I feel like it's very soft. Did you find that, Moose? Like it's very compliant. I feel like it's like softer than, I don't know, like a Next Percent 4, for example.
Yeah. Well, one of the ways that they have to get these foams so light is to make them like porous is kind of the example, but they remove a lot of the they remove a lot of the density from the foam, and so lighter and lighter and lighter, and But I didn't find that, to be honest. I found it. I didn't compare it like that at all.
Yeah, because I've obviously been doing a few sessions in the Deviate Nitro, like Elite 4.
Yeah.
And like that's the shoe that I'm actually thinking about potentially racing the 5K in, because to me it feels like a lot stiffer and a bit lower profile, and sort of gets me up onto my toes a little bit more, and also probably promotes slightly faster cadence.
Yeah.
The only reason I probably didn't wear it was because I just went for the weight factor. But this one sits at like 170 grams, which is between the Mizuno Hyperwarp and like the Next Percent 4. And it's super stable. So I think I'm going to wear that one at the track tomorrow for some 600s and maybe give that one a go, because I just felt like just felt really quite soft. And I feel like for short track races, you sort of want something that's a bit snappier, get you up onto your toes. Like the transition for that shoe is phenomenal. So talk about if I race in it, I can talk about it next week. But I think that shoe's released. Do you have it, Moose?
No, not yet. We don't have it in store yet.
I think mid to late Feb globally. So
okay. Yeah. Good luck then, Croaks. All the best. Second race in a week.
Yeah. Who would have thought, hey? We start the year and I've got 2 races under my belt before you guys got any.
I haven't run a step this year.
Oof. Yeah. Who would have thought? I love it though, folks.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Good long show. See you later. Listeners, keep an eye out for that Patreon content throughout the week. See yous.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. It was proudly brought to you by Say Sky. You can shop the full range at saysky.com, where you can also score 15% off with our exclusive discount code using the code IRP15 when you check out.
And I'm gonna hold my head up high. I was told as a young man, doesn't matter if you're white or black. Just show love to everyone you meet. Doesn't matter if it don't come back.